Happy Tuesday, I guess. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes Podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Craig in studio. We got Petey, who was guilted into joining the show. Just kidding. He wanted to be here, but he's here from home. And then back behind the Mac after his year-long sabbatical, it felt like. It's Sean DePaz. Welcome back, Sean.
What's poppin'? How are we doing?
Kind of missed you. But by the way, Sean has been very energetic in the studio today. It's like he's rested for the first time in months. He's not working
literally
7 days a week.
Yeah, 18 hours a day. So enjoy it while you can, D, because we'll beat you down very soon here.
I'll try. Trust me, I know. I will. I'll enjoy this for about 3 hours. I'll be back in the trenches.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hello, Petey.
Hi, I'm just sitting here waiting to join the show.
Oh, it looked like strobes.
Listen, it's hard when you're in another location and we're all together. We're just laughing, having a good time.
But it kind of looks like it. If I had the right background, I think I could pretend I was there.
Yeah, it kind of does look like it.
I'm sized proportionally, so that's good. Way to go, DP. So I think I'm not jumping in right away because I know what the topic is, and I'm not excited about it.
Neither am I, to be honest.
It's not going to be good for any of us.
That's why I don't do predictions.
Well, here we are. All right. Well, yeah, let's just get into it. So obviously before the season started, we gave our Coyotes predictions for individual things. We also gave our NHL predictions for how the division standings would shake out. And obviously
those are even worse.
We have 3 days left of the regular season, so it won't 100% be accurate, but we have a sense of at least the teams that we might have picked to make the playoffs or not. I've seen our predictions. It's not good. So chat, please feel empowered to make fun of us and give us shit. I am giving you that freedom to do so. As
if you needed it.
Yeah. And then finally, we'll just look ahead at the final 3 days, and there's still a lot up in the air. It's really exciting. So I want to start with the Coyotes because, this is the PHNX Coyotes Podcast. And I want to shout out Sean. I'm so glad he's back because he took notes when we did this show, our predictions for the Coyotes before the season started. And what are you going to say?
No, I was going to say, so you all made predictions, but some of you had little disclaimers with your predictions. So there will be notes I will have to add.
Okay, so you can add the commentary.
It's really just on the breakout player of the season one. You guys had some caveats, so
okay.
I will inform you.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, let's pull them up. It's the moment of truth. All right, if you're listening on audio, I will read. We'll go one by one.
We all chose Hayton. Look at that.
I thought I had chosen Michelli. That's unfortunate.
So you all chose Hayton, but Petey I have Hayton, but then in parentheses I have, but also Bugstad and Mosier. And then Leah had Hayton, but then said Michelli just to give a different answer. So your all official answers were Barrett Hayton.
Okay.
But Petey and Leah gave little caveats.
Okay, so that's the first category. You can take we'll go one by one, Sean. So.
And I think what the deal is, Leah, what I'm learning is make sure I have caveats and put things in parentheses when I do the show next year. But it might be Mosier and Michelli, but it could also be, and then I can throw in about 6 or 7 names. I think that is the key.
A pretty good pick for you, though.
Well, a breakout player. He got back to his offensive track, and it got him good enough position to get traded to a Stanley Cup contender. So I take that. But we all said Barrett Hayton, and I think through the first 33 games, we look like idiots. But I will say this, for the season and the numbers that he put up for the numbers, almost get, he's potentially a 20-goal scorer. He's 1 goal away from 20. Yeah, if Barrett Hayton scores 20, I think he is, if not the breakout player, at least he's in the conversation.
100% agree. And it's funny because I remember, because I had thought that I had chosen Michelli, which I clearly did a little bit. And I remember thinking, oh, good thing I chose Michelli and not Hayton, because I think Michelli was definitely a breakout player.
Yeah, he was a breakout player.
Do you think he was A, or do you think he was the?
It's tough because I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, because if you look at simply point totals, I think he has 5 more points than Barrett Hayton. But if you look at what Barrett Hayton has done over really since the All-Star game, he's been terrific. Yeah. This is much closer to the guy that they envisioned when they drafted him. And let's face it, Barrett Hayton plays the center position. It's a more difficult position with more responsibilities. And Andre has talked about what a good two-way player he has been, how responsible he is in all zones. Now he's adding the production to it. So that's a really good sign. I think I'd probably still go with him, but it's a tough call between.
So we did pretty well on the first one. Yeah. I'm proud of us, for sure.
It gets worse though, Leah.
Yeah. What do we got next, Sean? All right. Most goals. I said Clayton Keller.
Skip this one. Just skip this one.
Craig said Nick Schmaltz, and Petey said Nick Ritchie. How did that work out for you, Petey?
So not as good. So he got 9 goals while he was with the Coyotes. Ended up with a 13. Not good. Bad pick. But remember, at the time though, he was almost a half a goal a game guy when he came in last year from the trade deadline. So I thought this was going to be it. And then remember how hot he was on the power play to start the year. Craig even wrote an article about how good it was.
Yep, it looked good for you.
Then it fell apart.
Yeah, so Clayton Keller's clearly leading the team in goals, and this has been a good emergence for Clayton Keller, right? He was never viewed as a goal scorer coming into this season, and now he is. Well, he's not going to get to 40, but he's flirting with 40 goals.
Hey, Clayton Hattie in the final game to get 40 goals and beat the record. Give it to me.
Nick Schmaltz, of course, missed a good chunk of the season, basically a quarter of the season, but still has 21 goals, so he's having a productive year. But really the story here is the emergence of Clayton Keller as a goal scorer, because he's always been seen as more of a playmaker.
Yeah, Leah nailed it. She was dead bang on, and I was last.
Yeah, not great. All right, what do we got? What do we got next? All right, most points. We all said Clayton Keller. Good job, everyone. Yay! We did it.
2 for 3 here. You're 3 for 3, Leah.
Nailed it.
I mean,
we all nailed it.
Badly.
Well, just wait.
Leah's killing it.
Wait till we get to the NHL predictions. It's not good.
I'm not. I know one that's really going to bug me when it comes up.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next, Sean? All right, most penalty minutes. I said Zach Cassian, Craig said Liam O'Brien, and Petey said Liam O'Brien. And let's see, it's Liam O'Brien. So here's my first fumble. I don't think Zach Cassian's played enough to get enough penalty minutes, to be honest.
We haven't seen him. Is he still there? No, but Liam O'Brien, here's the problem. We knew he would take fighting majors, which he did. The problem with Liam O'Brien and the penalty minute total is he takes too many penalties at inopportune times that aren't fighting majors, whether they're stick fouls or plays behind the penalties behind the play. It really hurt this team. And it's something, I know you want that edge and you want that fight and you want the guy that can go into the boards hard, but you're going to have to find a way. If this team is competitive, that puts you behind the 8 ball way too many times. He had 114 minutes in penalties. The next closest was Josh Brown, who had 80 minutes, but played in 12 more games than O'Brien. So it's a big problem for his penalties. Even with Jack McBain, he had nearly half the penalty minutes, but played in almost 25 more games. So O'Brien, if he's going to be a part of this team going forward, which he probably won't be, can't sit all that time in the penalty box.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congrats, you guys finally got one on me. Let's look at our next prediction.
We're all even here.
Yeah, it might be. All right. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus. Can we skip this one?
All right. Wow. So our standings picked, we all said they would finish last. I said 56 points. Craig said 55. Petey said 54. And with one game remaining, the Arizona Coyotes are 6th to last with 69 points.
Nice.
What?
All wrong.
Not even close, buddy. Buddy, they could get 70 points. This is the third best home record since this team moved to the Valley from Winnipeg. That was the difference. Mullet Magic was the difference because they sucked on the road. I think they do have the fewest road wins of any team in the National Hockey League. Yes, they do. Fewest road wins of any team in the league, but they had the third best home record in franchise history. That's the difference. This team did way better than expected. Goaltending was a big issue with that too. Ingram played better than expected. Vamelka battled back from a second season to be more consistent. This team did way better than not only we thought, than prognosticators, analysts, coaches, anybody who talked to this team was last. They far outshot their coverage on this one.
Yeah. And I think this ties into the last one on that graphic, which was the draft lottery. That one, technically, we still don't know. We all picked second. But if you've been watching our post-game shows,
by the way,
you've seen that this team is getting 6th and 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in every Tankathon simulation we've run. Of course, they can still move up. They can still move up to 1st or 2nd even, but it's not looking very likely unless, as we've been saying, all of the bad vibes, we're getting them all out of the way with our tank. We're purging the bad results with our Tankathon results.
Yeah, until we roll. And then every time actually, did I show you that? I did one roll that morning and the Coyotes won the lottery.
I'm going to do one right now. And they dropped to 7th.
You know what else was great about the lottery? I ran the Blackhawks dropped to 5th.
Wow, that is literally a perfect Pittsburgh in 4th. Wow. Yeah. So that one's still up in the air, but I'm not leaning toward pick 2. Would love pick 2.
Can this team get a point against Vancouver and finish with 70 or more? And they're stuck in 6th. We already said that. But can they break the 70-point barrier, Craig?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, Vancouver. It's not like Vancouver's a powerhouse, so I think they can do it. They're not necessarily stuck where they are. Montreal can still pass them.
They play Islanders and Boston, and they need to win. I don't feel.
Yeah, but if they get 1 point and the Coyotes lose, Montreal finishes, ahead of the Coyotes.
Yes, the tiebreaker.
So,
well, they could get
just get
5th,
one
then.
game to OT and have the Coyotes lose. Of course, the Coyotes will beat Vancouver because that's how they do.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
that's how they do. Can you imagine? Oh,
doesn't matter. 5th, 6th, who cares, right?
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
we could still be right and pick 2nd in the draft, couldn't we? Yeah, of course we could.
Yeah,
we could win that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have a 7.9% chance of landing the 2nd pick at this particular moment in time.
All right.
So it's
There it is.
never say never. Never
8
say
out of
never.
100.
Right, hockey gods? Never say
There we
never.
go.
I don't think you can bet on where they'll fall in the draft lottery. It is so up to chance. But there's plenty of other stuff you can bet on. And with one Coyotes game left, put some money on it. Make it interesting for yourself. We've been having a great time on BetMGM. They have so many different obscure cool bets you can do, like which period will have the most goals in it. Just some really, really cool stuff on there. So we've been loving BetMGM. And if you haven't signed up yet, you can use bonus code PHNX and you'll get up to $200 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app, sign up with bonus code PHNX, place a pregame moneyline wager in the amount of at least $10 on any market at standard odds price, and you'll receive $200 in bonus bets instantly, regardless of the outcome of your wager. Just make sure you use bonus code PHNX when you sign up. Plus, join us at the BetMGM Sportsbook at State Farm Stadium for all Suns away playoff games. Our PHNX Suns watch parties presented by Neutral will feature food and drink specials, PHNX giveaways, and BetMGM deposit matches. Join us. There's something in it for you if you come out to BetMGM. It's going to be a blast. The sportsbook is amazing, state-of-the-art, beautiful. So we're really looking forward to that and have a team to root for in the playoffs because it's not the Coyotes. And now, listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
All right. And now I'm really glad Sean's back because he's going to give us a pick of the week. It's been a while.
It has been a minute. I don't know if you know this. I'm a pretty big baseball fan, and baseball is back. I'm going to my first Arizona Diamondbacks home game of the season tonight. So it feels only natural that my pick would be the Arizona Diamondbacks money line, plus 105 against the Milwaukee Brewers, who they dominated last night. This team is a wagon. They're super good, and they're going to keep it rolling. They got Mert on the mound tonight, so I'm feeling good about it.
All right. I love it. I think Jacob gave out D-backs money line last week for the pick of the week, and it hit. So ride that wave. Love it. And if you've missed Sean as much as us, you can see him this upcoming Saturday at Illegal Pete's for our PHNX Sun Devils podcast that will be live from Illegal Pete's in Tempe on
Sean
Saturday,
will be performing
April 15th, technically, at 10 a.m. for the pregame ahead of ASU's football spring game. It's right after Pat's Run, right before the spring game. So if you're going to Pat's Run, swing by Illegal Pete's in Tempe. It's going to be a blast. They're going to do a live show there. And this is the best part. Enjoy $3 margaritas all day. So sign me up. It's going to be a blast. Illegal Pete's. It's so good. It's your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. Love it. The Watts asked, how many hot dogs, Sean?
Ooh, tonight is not going to be the hot dog night. I'm going to have to figure out a night during the season to have my 9 hot dog night.
Yeah.
Today is not that night. I have to be mentally prepared for that to happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is the part that I've been dreading.
You got the glasses up. I don't even want to see this.
It's reviewing our NHL picks. And we did division previews every week leading up to the season. We gave our order. Obviously, still some room for movement, but for the most part, we know who's making the playoffs-ish. If we get, there's still a couple things up in the air. So, Sean, I'll let you choose which division we do first, and let's review our picks.
Let's go left to right. Let's start with the Pacific.
All right, Pacific Division. Here's what we got. I had, in order, Edmonton, Calgary, LA, Vegas, Vancouver, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose. Craig had Edmonton, Calgary, Vegas, Vancouver, LA, San Jose, Anaheim, Seattle. PD had Calgary, Edmonton, LA, Vegas, Vancouver, Anaheim, San Jose, Seattle. And Sean had Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Vegas, LA, Anaheim, San Jose, Seattle. I think I can say the thing I feel best about was having San Jose last, not Seattle last, because at least I kind of was in the ballpark of one thing right. But none of us nailed this whatsoever.
What do you mean? I was right on with Vancouver finishing third in the division.
we could still be right about Edmonton winning the division.
Yeah,
still win the division.
It's still up there.
Past that, yeah, the Calgary love was.
PD and I have LA
misplaced.
third, which is where they are right now.
Yeah.
Vegas did better
Seattle
than we all thought.
Them, by the way, Seattle can still finish third in this division, and LA is not playing well. They're banged up.
The only thing I can say in my defense, there is no defense, but I picked some playoff teams. Like, is that a thing?
Sure.
If Calgary can get it over Winnipeg, then I got 5. The only team I missed was Seattle, because Calgary, Edmonton, LA, and Vegas could all make the playoffs, and I missed on Seattle. That's
too much allegiance to Brad Treliving for me, and too much LA hatred for me.
I thought the Vegas goaltending thing was going to be a problem, and it ended up being a blessing for them. They've been able to do it with 5-6 goaltenders, not a problem. Vancouver, we gave too much of a bump, but we were clearly wrong on Seattle. That we just missed the boat on Seattle. Other than that, I mean, we've got some playoff teams. We all have playoff teams in there. I overshot on Calgary tremendously. I thought the addition of
Calgary
Huberdeau
was eliminated last night from playoff.
Yeah.
Huberdeau. Oh, they were okay. Well, Huberdeau
lost to Nashville. Yes.
Huberdeau and Calgary and Kadri, I thought were going to help them, and I was wrong.
Yeah. And we also, I think all of us didn't think Anaheim would be as bad as they ended up being. But we were kind of right around it. Yikes. All right. What do we got next, Sean?
Does it get any better?
The Central Division.
All right. Here we go. All right. So in the Central, in order, I had Colorado, St. Louis, oh my God, Minnesota, Dallas, Nashville, Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona. Craig had Colorado, St. Louis, Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas, Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona. PD had Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, St. Louis, Nashville, Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona. Sean had Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota, St. Louis, Dallas, Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona.
Colorado, sure.
Well, we all nailed Colorado for now. There's Dallas could
Dallas
still win.
More love than anybody else.
I got the top 3. I got the top 3 right, and they are right. So
Yep.
they might not be in the
good
right
for
order,
you.
but I did get the top 3, but then I had St. Louis as the playoff team, and I had Arizona last, which clearly was wrong. Chicago sucked.
But yes, and St. Louis really took a nosedive this season. I don't think a lot of people saw that one coming as dramatically as it did.
No, Bennington was not as good as, and then they had to start selling, and you sell pieces to a team like that. Honestly, they struggled to create offense, and once you get rid of Tarasenko, you get rid of their top offensive players, O'Reilly. This team's bad, and it's I don't know where they go from here because they're not anywhere near being the playoff team that they expected to be this season.
No, they don't have any game changing players in that lineup now. So it's
Can I say?
Go ahead.
Did we do playoff predictions too, or not?
Oh, yes.
Just division.
That's what
Okay,
I've
then
really been
we'll get into that later.
We did?
Okay.
Yes, we did.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
Good.
those.
No, we never talked about those. What are you
No.
talking about? No,
No, we're going to predict them now.
I have-
We said there was no
I
reason
have
to
no
predict
memory
this.
of somebody picking Calgary to beat Colorado in the Western Conference Final. I have
Well,
no
I
memory.
don't remember that.
We did them, but we didn't write it down, and it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I got Nashville 5th. Nailed it. That's my one win. That and Colorado. John, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say that on both these graphics so far, the first player picture on them have been
And traded?
yeah,
Yeah.
Los Angeles Kings goalie Jonathan
Yeah.
Quick.
I did notice that. I was
No,
going to
I
point
think
that out.
things are going to get much better because there have been surprises all over the
Yeah.
NHL this year. So yeah, let's just go right
what
to
do,
the Eastern
what do we
Conference.
got? What do we got next, Sean?
The Metro.
Alrighty. Okay. Metropolitan Division. I had New York, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Washington, New York Islanders, Columbus, New Jersey, Philadelphia. I had New Jersey
No
below
love for
Columbus.
Jersey.
Oh
None
my
of us
God.
gave Jersey any love.
We all gave Jersey second to last. Come on.
Craig had Rangers, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Islanders, Washington, Columbus, New Jersey, Philadelphia. PD had Carolina, Rangers, Washington, Islanders, Pittsburgh, Columbus, New Jersey, Philadelphia. Sean had Carolina, Rangers, Pittsburgh, Islanders, Washington, Columbus, New Jersey, Philadelphia.
If I could just switch New Jersey and Washington, I'd be fine. But I can't. It's interesting. It's a team that really came out of nowhere this year with New Jersey because they're young, they're quick. It's their draft picks, just like the model we're talking about with Arizona, and they played. I mean, these guys performed. These high-skilled young forwards for the New Jersey Devils were fantastic this year and propelled them into one of the top teams in the league. They're plus 60 and plus minus, which is the best in the Metropolitan Division. They can score goals, I tell you that, and they could win the division.
Very much
And
so.
I-
And yeah, with Svechnikov out now too, they could make a run here. I don't think the Rangers have been quite as good as people expected them to be either. So this is a fascinating division for me in the postseason. I don't know what's coming out of this division. No clue.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about getting the Islanders kind of. Oh, I was one away. Just kidding. Craig nailed the Islanders, I guess, and so did Sean and PD. Okay,
Pittsburgh could
never
still
mind.
make it too. So
Yeah, Pittsburgh could still
we're
make it.
Not bad at the top of the division. It's really just about New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey shocked, and I think, and Philadelphia, don't get me wrong, they were still not great, but I don't think any of us expected Columbus to plummet quite like they
Well,
did.
and I think with the addition of Johnny Hockey, I think the expectations were there is they were going to try to win some games, and we didn't feel that they were as bad as what was going on in Philadelphia. But John Tortorella clearly turned them around. They're going to finish 15 points higher than Columbus in that division, and Washington's window was closing, and their injuries stacked up again this season. They couldn't stay out of the injury list, and here they are that they're eliminated from the playoffs, and their window now, to me, if it's not closed, it's pretty darn close. And
Yeah.
you look at, they won our draft lottery sim last night with Bedard. That sure changes their window and speeds up the rebuild in Washington.
That window's closed. That window's closed.
Unless they win the
Of course,
lottery like they have
Ovechkin signed for
twice.
3 more years, so
And he's
Yeah.
he's not showing any signs of slowing down. All right, last but not least, let's make the pain end. It's the Atlantic Division. What do we got?
Oh, Jesus.
nobody picked Boston at the top. At least I had them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my God. All right. I had.
boy.
Oh, we all really loved Florida, huh? All right. I had Toronto, Florida, Tampa, Ottawa, Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Montreal. Craig had Toronto, Florida, Tampa, Boston, Buffalo, Ottawa, Detroit, Montreal.
It's actually not a bad order.
PD had Toronto, Florida, Tampa, Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Ottawa, Montreal. And Sean had Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Ottawa, Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Montreal. We were all pretty similar on this one. Obviously, no one saw Boston's regular season dominance coming. Toronto right there. I guess Sean nailed them at number 2 and Tampa at number 3. We all nailed. But Florida, I don't think a lot of us saw them being a wild card team. I definitely had too much confidence in Ottawa. And I think we all nailed Detroit and Montreal there toward the bottom. PD kind of saw Ottawa for what they were. So good job, PD.
But I think Craig and I both have the top 4 right and the bottom 4 right. They just don't have them in the right order. And this is, again, Boston, which I saw similar to Washington. I saw them as an aging team. I did not expect Allmark to have the kind of breakout season that he had in the net for them. We thought goaltending was going to be an issue there, that Swayman might even be the number 1 goalie. Allmark was unbelievable. Their balanced scoring for this season has been something the league hasn't seen in a long, long time. And they stayed relatively healthy throughout the season, which was another big factor in them ending up with one of the league's best records of all time.
One more win, and they have the most points in league history.
That's crazy. They have 131 points.
It's
and they have
obscene.
2 games to go, so they could easily do it.
You win your next one, and then you rest your guys in the last game.
And then, but that's good because that's when they play Montreal. So rest all your guys in the last game. Get the record.
And that's a rivalry game.
Get the record in game 81. Rest all your games in game 82. And have Montreal win that game.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
They can't get hurt. They cannot get guys hurt right now because you look at what their path is, and round 2, if they can get by round 1, and you'd think that they would, they're going to get the Islanders, Florida, or Pittsburgh in the first round. They got to play Toronto, Tampa in the second round. This isn't easy. There is no easy path to the Stanley Cup for anybody. Yeah, so Tampa, but you worry about anything in the playoffs. As Allmark, he hasn't played the playoff experience. He doesn't have it. You look at Vasilevsky versus Allmark in playoff experience and what they've done. It's not even close. Now, that doesn't mean they can't win.
Yeah, the regular season, the slate's clean now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You remember, and this is a painful memory because it was the end of the run for the Blackhawks, but they had that incredible season right out of the 15 Cup. They go in as the number 1 seed. Nashville swept them in the first round, just swept them, shut them down. You just don't know what's going to happen in the postseason.
Tampa Bay got swept by Columbus after winning the President's Trophy. It happens. And the playoffs is a different animal. There's no guarantees. The one thing that Boston does have, though, they have a lot of experienced guys that have been there. When you talk about Bergeron, who's Bergeron and Marchand, who are leaders who have been through the fire before, that is definitely going to help this squad. I think their balance, their ability to score from the back end, and Allmark, this is the team to beat in the East. But playoffs is an all-new game, so it doesn't matter how many points you got in the regular season. Look out. Playoffs and the first round of playoffs is absolutely the best 10 days of hockey of this season.
Yep, it is. I'm excited. And we'll probably do it all again and give our playoff predictions and be brutally wrong as well. So don't tail us for those predictions. But I think we'll probably do another NHL bracket challenge in the Discord if you want to join that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Still a lot of uncertainty for how things fall in the NHL draft, but we do know the NFL draft order. And the NFL draft, it's coming soon. It's April 27th, and the best place to take it in is at the Four Peaks H3 Pub. My goodness. We got I almost said Joe and Bonnie. I'm like stumbling over my words.
Joe and
Johnny and Bo, their alter egos, Joe and Bonnie, will be broadcasting live from Four Peaks. It's going to be a blast. We have NFL draft beer specials, $3 Redberg Lager pints, $5 Redberg Lager pitchers. Oh my goodness. And then the usual PHNX specials of $3 Kit Lifter and Wow pints, which is all our favorites here on our show. It's going to be a ton of fun. Register for free in the link in our show notes to take advantage of beer specials. You must be 21 or older to drink and enjoy responsibly. And listen, we're all pretty stressed about how things are going to shake out for the Coyotes, but that's okay because we have our friends at OGs to help us get through. And we have a ton of really exciting stuff coming up with OGs right now.
Yeah, you go ahead because I have my own OGs thing to throw out there to the
okay. You want to do it after?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first things first, we have our new collab shirt with OG's brands. It is now live. Check out this shirt. It is unreal. I wore it last week on our watch along. If you want to get your hands on this dope collab tee, make sure to get your tickets to Budzapalooza, which is this upcoming Friday. The PHNX crew will be there Friday, April 14th in downtown Phoenix. We'll be hanging out with our friends at OG's at Budzapalooza, and we'll be doing a special edition of the OG's PHNX variety show live from Budzapalooza. That's where you can buy your OG's collab shirt. It's the first chance you have to get this shirt. So get your tickets. It's going to be a ton of fun. You were there last year, weren't you, Sean? It's a lot of fun,
yes,
right?
Yes, I was, and I'll be there again. There's like a lot of stuff. Even if you're not like a weed guy, there's like
It's just cool.
Good food. They do stand up. They show movies sometimes. There's like music. So
that's cool.
There's a vibe there. It's a vibe there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get info on Budzapalooza, check out budzapalooza.com. What were you gonna say, Craig?
But if you are a weed or edibles person, I want to throw this out there. Coyotes general manager Bill Armstrong is going to come on our show next week for a sort of a season wrap. His suggestion actually wants to do this every season. But Bill wants a catchy name. We don't have a catchy name. So, if you have some OGs at home, pop one in your mouth, wait for it to take effect, and then throw those names at us because we need a catchy title for the season wrap show with Coyotes general manager Bill Armstrong.
Yep. Let us know. We have a couple days to figure it out. I'm really looking forward to that. We have the number of guests we have coming up in the next 10 days. I can't even say some of them. There's a lot of them, and you will know who a lot of them are. They are big names, so just stay tuned.
Yeah, we're juggling a lot of balls right now.
Yeah, Craig and I are stressed. Thank goodness for OGs. That's all I have to say. All right, well, to wrap this up, there's 3 days left of the NHL regular season. There's a lot on the line. I love this. I love that last season, we knew the Eastern playoff teams in December. It was boring. Now, it's down to the wire for Pittsburgh, for Florida. We only have one playoff series fully set right now. It's Toronto, Tampa. Everything else is up in the air. There's a lot that can change. What are you guys looking at, predicting for the wild card race and possible playoff matches in the final three?
As I mentioned, Calgary got eliminated last night, and I thought they were going to win that game at home and then just give themselves a chance, and they didn't get it done. That really surprised me. Nashville can still get in, but I think Winnipeg needs to earn 1 point over its last couple games. So the Winnipeg Jets are going to get in. It's decided, right? It's the Eastern Conference that's fascinating to me. The Islanders stumbled a little bit last night. Florida is really playing well right now, but it's a 3-team race. The Panthers have 1 game left, so they can get to 94 points. The Islanders can only get to 93. If Pittsburgh wins both of its games, it gets to 94 and they get in.
And guess who they play the last 2? Columbus and I forget, it was another bad team.
Yeah, it's garbage schedule.
Oh, Chicago.
Chicago
so
and
Pittsburgh
Columbus should win. So it's on the Islanders and Panthers. Now, I think the Panthers host Carolina and the Islanders play, is it Montreal?
Montreal.
So the Islanders should win.
Yeah.
Florida's got to find a way to, I guess, get at least a point, or is it 2 points? They got to win.
They should just win.
Carolina.
They just need to win.
They just need a point. They need a point. But what's interesting to me, especially at this time of year, one, there are a lot of races for positioning still. And the Metropolitan Division Championship is still up for grabs. Apparently, Boston's probably going to win the President's Trophy. But you look at teams, you want to be playing good hockey right now. You want to be hot. We talked about Carolina's lost 3 in a row. Tampa Bay has lost 3 in a row. You don't want to be on a losing streak getting ready to play game 1. Boston's won 9-1 in their last 10. You want to be the team that's on fire right now. And in the Western Conference, they're all hot right now. Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota, 8-2, 7-2, 6-2. These teams are all in winning streaks, and they all could win the Central Division. Yeah. Vegas is 6-1-3 in their last 10, but right behind them, Edmonton's 9-0-1. Those teams are hot. The LA Kings are not. They're 5-5, playing just 500 going in.
Seattle can still catch them, yeah.
Seattle's another team hot, but with a caveat, Seattle's 7-2-1, but they've played Arizona 3 times in 8 days, a team they dominated offensively. So take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. You want to be playing well. And right now, for me, the teams playing the best in the West right now are the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. And Colorado's still doing with injured players. I think Colorado needs to be healthy to win. And when I mean win the whole thing. I know we talked to the guys at DNVR yesterday. They're so hopeful about another cup run. I don't see it unless they're healthy. And we'll talk about this more as we get into playoff prediction shows. Dallas is too good right now. Minnesota can win games without Kirill the Thrill and showing what they can do with good goaltending. There's too many teams that we discounted in the West. Vegas is playing well. Edmonton's playing well. The West is harder than people are giving it credit for. They're playing more consistently right now. I don't think it's an easy slam dunk path for the Colorado Avalanche going into the playoffs. Let's see who wins the Central.
Yeah, and we're going to have a couple of great playoff preview shows, each conference. We'll have Jeff Merrick on. We'll have Greg Wyshynski on, each taking on one conference. But before we close this out, this is my annual plug for the play-in round, which I still want to see happen. Gary Bettman, you're the only one who doesn't want this to happen. I just want to put you out on an island there. Literally everyone else wants to see this. The one thing I've always said about the play-in round is I don't want to see garbage teams get in. I don't want to see a losing team. I don't know how you rectify that. Like if you have a play-in round that's altered when a team doesn't reach a 500 points percentage, but that's sort of the barrier for me. You got to be at a 500 points percentage. In the Eastern Conference right now, you have a perfect 12 teams at 500 or better. Detroit Red Wings would be the last of those teams. In the Western Conference, you have 11 teams right now. The number 12 team is the Vancouver Canucks, who need one win to get there. Who do they play in the final game of the season? They play the Arizona Coyotes. So again, I really want to see. I think there's some legitimacy to this. I think these teams are good enough to at least get a chance to play in. There's more revenue. It's more exciting for the fans. More teams are in races down the stretch. Why would you be resistant to this?
Craig, well, I sorry to ask you a question on this, and I should be more familiar. What does the NBA do for their play-in? Do you know how many teams are in that play-in?
Yeah,
because I don't, and I wish I did.
Aren't there 4 in each conference?
Yeah, there's 4 in each conference, but they don't go 12 deep, right? It's 10 deep, right? Because they take. I think. Yeah,
could you do a 10 deep here? It's like 10 deep makes sense to me, since we're arguing about it. Yeah, the top three in each division are in. Just get them in because they made it. They're top 3, and then you take your next 4, which now would be Buffalo, Pittsburgh, the Islanders, and Florida. Florida plays Buffalo, Pittsburgh plays the Islanders. You play 2 out of 3, and you're in. Do they do one game in the NBA? And see that way, and then in the West, that makes sense too, because now you got Seattle, Nashville, Winnipeg, Calgary. All those teams are there, and then you benefit the teams that get the bye. But you know what? You get a week off. You get a week off to rest and be, it's 3 less games you have to play and get your bodies beat up. I think that I would be in for that. 12, I think, is too many. I could go with 10.
Yeah, 10 works.
I could go with 10.
The Sabres are a good team. They're a good team. Number 10.
So is Nashville. Yep, Nashville's got they're 10 points.
And there's a significant spread between them and the teams below them too. So
yes,
it's legitimate this year. So I'm down with that. I love it. Just go to the NBA format.
So it's interesting. A couple things. Number one, I think last season was a perfect reason to not do a play. Like if you wanted to, a picture perfect argument of not doing a play-in, it was last season, looking at the Eastern Conference and the drop off between the playoff teams and the non-playoff teams. That's number one. Kenny actually said, I'm with Gary in the play-in round. You don't make the cut in 82 games. You don't deserve a shot. And Rudo said, my problem with the play-in is the regular season means even less than it already does. So some good counter arguments. I think I can definitely see both sides. By the way, I love how Rudo spawned the second PD talked about the Colorado Avalanche. All of a sudden, Rudo spawned in the chat. So love that. Well, thanks for joining us, Rudo.
Notifications went off.
Yeah.
But one more thing when we're talking playoffs and format and play-in, I also would venture to guess that the format should go and change back to the 1 versus 8. I don't know if the intended rivalries that were created in the divisional process like we had thought. I think if you fight in the best 2 teams in the Eastern Conference happen to be in the same division, they shouldn't have to face each other in the second round. Completely. It should be the Eastern Conference final. So that's one to me that I think I would like to see change 1 versus 8. I think gives you a better and more reason to win in the regular season. And then you don't have to face those teams right away. So that's one I think we could change. We're not talking about travel schedules now. This is teams travel in charter planes and stay in the best hotels. It's not about proximity anymore. So I think 1 to 8.
You could space the games out a little more. You could get a little more cushion to help with the travel as well. But I'm with you entirely. And as far as rivalries, like we've talked about this before on the show, the NHL killed all of its rivalries long ago. They broke up too many of them. So stop trying to pretend that because teams play in the same division, they have these hot rivalries. They just don't exist that much anymore. And plus that, and any coach will tell you this, rivalries are born in the playoffs. They're not built in the regular season.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys I'm going to go around and ask you a question. Kind of putting you on the spot, but it doesn't require a lot of prep. Just give me your first instinct. This NHL season, in the entire NHL, so not the Coyotes, what was the biggest surprise and what was the biggest disappointment for you? And whoever has their answer first can jump right in.
I'll go biggest surprise is the Boston Bruins are about to set a record for points in a season. I talked to, when I was in Boston early in the Coyotes' first road trip, they went through Boston. And I talked to the beat writers there, literally the guys that are there every day covering this team. They're like, yeah, I still think they're a playoff team, but probably 7 or 8 in the conference. This is the guys that are around them every day, talking to people around the organization, thought they were a fringe playoff team. And here they are about to eclipse Montreal's all-time points record.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go, I agree with Boston, but I'm going to go on an individual effort. It was 10 players over 100 points right now. You've got Connor McDavid with over 60 goals. Pasternak with 60 goals. Is the amount of offensive power that these superstars are displaying. And I think this was the year that you really saw the breakout of that personality, whether it's this, that hockey got back on, TNT and ESPN, and they're getting a bigger national platform. It was the rebirth of the superstar. And I think that the amount of points these guys are scoring and the skill level and the speed they're doing it at, when you have fourth line players that can put up the numbers they're putting up, it's no longer a league of the top 6 forwards. Now it's the top 12. It's a fantastically high skill speed league.
That's a really good answer. I'm going to say, just to be different, but I do agree with both of you, I'm going to say the New Jersey Devils. I think, obviously, we just saw our predictions. We all didn't estimate them to even be a playoff team. Let's just say, okay, if someone told us before the season, hey, New Jersey is a playoff team, we'd say, okay. Did anybody see them being second in the Metro with 108 points behind only the Carolina Hurricanes? I don't think so. I think what they've done this season has been unbelievable. So they're my biggest surprise.
Yeah, shout out Ray Sherrow, who's not getting enough credit for basically building this entire roster. Yeah. He didn't stick around.
Do you have a surprise, Sean?
I mean, did anyone see
Tage Thompson
being one of the best goal scorers in the NHL? Because I
can't believe this is Buffalo related.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a good answer too.
Where's he from?
It's from right here. Phoenix,
in Arizona.
That's right.
Love it. Right. All right. Disappointments. Rudo in the chat said biggest disappointment, easily Calgary. What do you guys got?
I mean, that's a good choice, but I'm gonna speak on behalf of Coyotes fans here and say the current standings position for
that's
the
Arizona
a good answer,
Coyotes
Craig. And the odds they have of landing Connor Bedard or Adam Fantilli, neither of which are good. Nobody saw that coming out. As much of a surprise as the Boston Bruins were. I can't tell you how many analysts I talked to before the season that told me this might be the worst roster ever constructed in the cap era, and here the Coyotes are with 21 home wins. And they are not going to finish in the bottom 3.
PD?
What is the category again, Leah? Because I have something.
Biggest disappointment.
You're not going to like this, and we should probably mute this. So if you're listening, just cover your ears. It's a sensitive subject, and we talked about this league's difficulty with addressing the issue as far as warm-up jerseys and the negative attention that followed players and organizations around over a silly uniform. And it's disappointing that in 2023 we're still having issues with these type of things, and it's disappointing when politics have to get into sports, because we all love sports. Sports are bring things that bring family and people together, not split them apart. And that's what I was most disappointed in.
Yeah, that's a really great answer. I was gonna go with the Calgary, Florida situation, and we saw that big blockbuster trade, and Calgary eliminated Florida on the verge. Maybe if they make the playoffs, it'll be a different story. But just to be a little different, I'm gonna kind of go off the map ish and say the Columbus Blue Jackets. Very surprising. Very
you
surprising.
Signed Johnny Gaudreau, and by the way, relates to Calgary too, because in Calgary's defense, what do you do when your 2 best players say, "Yeah, we don't want to play here anymore"? Well, I mean.
Yeah, not
credit to Brad Treliving for making something out of that, because that was a horrible situation, and they were right on the edge of playoff contention. But still, it's sadly it's probably going to cost Brad his job that they didn't make the playoffs this year, and I don't know what you do about it. Flip side, he's the one that hitched himself to Daryl Sutter, and that probably was not the right move for that organization.
Yep. Sean, do you have a disappointment? If you don't, it's okay.
No, not really. Kind of echoing Petey's thing, specifically finding out that the Stahl brothers are pieces of shit was disappointing, but yeah, all of that really, really was I would say a black eye on the NHL this year.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Well, let us know in the chat what you think the biggest surprises or biggest disappointments were. Something that will not be a disappointment is our upcoming event this Thursday at Four Peaks. First of all, we have our new PHNX Coyotes and Four Peaks collab shirt. It is live in the PHNX locker right now. So go to phnxlocker.com to grab yours, or you can buy it this Thursday at our season wrap party at the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub before the Coyotes season finale on April 13th. This starts at 5 o'clock. Wear your new collab shirt and you'll receive drink specials all night long. I can't wait to see everybody in these. I've heard they're amazing in person, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's enjoy the final game of the season together. I kind of like this tradition that we've made because we all went to the final game together last season. So let's continue this and celebrate the end of a very interesting Coyotes season. But I implore you also to become a diehard because you get 20% off merchandise, 20% off events. That event at Four Peaks is free, but you can also, if you're not a diehard yet, you can get this shirt for free when you sign up for your annual membership, or a free hat. And you get that every year, including access to our Discord, which is a lot of fun as well. We have a lot of stuff that's going to involve the Discord coming up. So just become a diehard. And if you are a diehard and you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. It's a ton of fun. And while you're making your way down to Tempe, maybe stop at Circle K. I promise you there will be one on your way there because there's Circle K's everywhere. You can stop in for iced coffee, for snacks. We've been beating the drum of the chips and the candy is so good. And they just have great deals on all their snacks, on their ice pops, everything. And they have great gas prices as well. And like I said, they're just everywhere. So make sure you're not missing out on all this great stuff. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you.
I quite literally had to use circlek.com/store-locator because I was in the middle of Arizona, or in the middle of California with no gas, and I needed gas. And I literally used the store-locator and got myself a Circle K.
Love it. All right. Well, before we wrap up, there's one Coyotes game remaining, just a couple of milestones that we have our eye on. Obviously nothing to play for except for this, the biggest one, of course, being Clayton Keller, 1 point away from tying Keith Tkachuk's single points record in a Coyote season, 2 away from breaking it. Matias Maccelli is 2 points away from 50. He'd be the second rookie this season to hit the 50-point mark. Barrett Hayton's 1 goal away from 20, and Nick Schmaltz is 3 goals away, which, unless we see a hat trick, not very likely, from a career high, and 4 points away from a career high. Give me a Clayton Keller hat trick assisted by Maccelli and Schmaltz.
Yeah, I want to see Fish get 2 goals, actually.
That's another good one to watch.
Career high. So,
and Lawson Krause 1 more goal for 25.
Yeah, that's a big number too. That's a big increase. I know he set a goal at the beginning of the season for 30, but 20 to 30 is that's a big leap. So just to get from 20 to 25.
No, he should be proud of what he's done.
Absolutely, yeah. He had a very good season.
Yep. Any final thoughts, Petey?
No, I can't believe we're talking about the final game. I just can't, and I'm just thankful for the group of people that I got to go on the journey with, and that includes the 3 of you, but also the people that are the diehards that come here and listen to this day in and day out.
Yep.
Did the journey with us, and it's going to start again before you know it. So enjoy your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do appreciate everybody. Thanks for chiming in the live chat or listening after. Hit the like button on this video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on audio, be sure you're subscribed. Leave us a review. And even if you're on YouTube right now, go pull up your phone wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow our show and leave us a review there as well. I have been going and reading them, so I appreciate the words that people leave on there as well. And you want to make sure you're subscribed to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. We have a lot of really exciting stuff coming this week, and you're just not going to want to miss a thing. So be sure to be subscribed to PHNX Sports. And finally, you can follow us on Twitter at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at S. Peters Hockey, at Sean_DePaz, and you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Everybody, we appreciate you for being here. We'll be back at some point this week. Just stay tuned see everybody Thursday as well at 4 Peaks. Really looking forward to that. But everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you soon.